Have you ever considered what is it that you want to become successful on? Isn't it either of these three categories? Let me break the ice straight away. Health, wealth, and relationships. We want more of either of the three. In this episode, Yogeshwari and I are going to decode the single thread that holds these three beads together. We're going to go deep into every single aspect of it. And not just that, you will go away at the end of this episode with a step by step takeaway, action points on how to use this sacred thread to to create magic across all the beads. Yogeshwari, looking absolutely gorgeous and magical. Are we all set to get started?
I'm all fired up to get started because this is one such topic which literally connects everything that a human wants, be it that emotional support, be it the wealth or the career, be it the health, feeling good, feeling great. And this one topic, it's going to break through, give breakthrough for a lot of people as it did for us.
So, what is this particular thread that we are talking about? Let's break that thing down, and then I'm not still not going to disclose it. I'm going to let Yogeshwari disclose it. I'll give you three very simple scenarios. You look at yourself in the mirror and you feel absolutely horrible. You know that you need to look fitter, you need to lean down, you need to put on more muscle, look more sexy, you need to have a lot of good physique. And if you're a girl, maybe you just want to remove all those unnecessary fat and that's there across whatever. You want to look good. And you decide, but you're not able to wake up. You're not able to let go of the junk food. You're not able to really do the things that you know that you're supposed to do. And what's worse, you even beat yourself up. The other way around. Second example, you want more money in your life. You want to have a raise in your salary. You want to start a side hustle. You want to have multiple income streams. You want to give more value to people. And you also know what are the things that needs to be done. Yet, you're not able to go and ask for it. You're not able to really do what it takes. You're not able to create videos like this, maybe. You want to share a lot of things, but just not able to. And the last one is the worst part. You love your parents so much. You love your siblings. You love your friends. You want to connect with all these amazing people that's there in the world. But you look at a beautiful girl and you're too scared to go and ask her. Just talk. Or maybe just someone who just caught your eye and you kind of move your eye away. What's worse, you start looking at your parents, not even telling them how much you love them. Your siblings, in your professional life, what's going on here? Yogeshwari, please take it away. I'm getting slightly emotional right now.
As you were discussing about these three parameters of our life, first one is health, and then wealth, and then relationship. If we connect the dots, health, we want to do something. We want to wake up, we want to eat healthy, but we end up eating junk or we end up sleeping more. We end up not doing the workout. What's happening at that time in our head? Our head speaks the language that is programmed by the marketers, the best marketers in the world. Lace packets, so delicious in different variety. Healthy food, who talks about it? It's not delicious as well. So there are conversations or thought process happening inside our head. One side, you have a beautiful angel sitting in your head and telling, eat healthy because I want you to be healthy. You need to look good. The other side, a devil sitting inside and telling, like, why? Why bother? Chill out. Sit in the couch, take a big packet of chips, eat, watch Netflix. And we end up choosing the easier one. We end up listening to the voice that we shouldn't be listening to. Why? Because we couldn't talk ourselves out of it. Conversations. Number two, wealth. We wanted to earn more. And most of our Indians, we know that We wanted to earn more, so we have to get a job. When we get a job, when we sit in the interviewer is asking a lot of questions. Let's just say we ace everything, we answer all the questions, we nail it. Now comes the salary negotiation time. They come up with a package. We don't even know that we can negotiate. Most of us, freshers who are starting here, you don't even know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Type it in the chat if I'm wrong. We don't even know that we can negotiate. We don't even know that it's the base package. They have much higher range that they can give. We don't even know. Forget about learning the art and talk asking for it. So we lost 10%, 20% of our income over there. Reason? We didn't know how to talk, how to ask, conversation. And finally, relationship. As Surya said, you look at a girl, but you're too scared to walk up and talk to her. Why? None of us, we learned how to talk to a stranger. We love our family so much. We love our parents so much, but we don't know how to express. Why? No one taught us that it is okay to be vulnerable in front of our parents. It's okay to cry. It's okay to tell them that I love you so much. I'm sorry for whatever you have been through. Sorry for whatever I've put you through. Is that okay? Can I just sit here and talk to you for some time? I really have something to share. Nobody taught us how to do this. And that is why this one single thread, which is, you may call it as conversation, speaking, or thought process, anything, but it ends up in one word, which is public speaking. And type it in the comment. How many of you are scared to speak on stage? And Surya, I want to throw this thought to you and give the baton to you. When was the last time you spoke on the stage and how did you feel? When was the first time you spoke on the stage and how did you feel? Because public speaking is one such concept. It is the second most feared thing in the world. The first is death. Surya, over to you.
I think there was a research where I read that public speaking is feared even worse than death, because it's something that you have to practice. Death at least comes once and it takes you away. Public speaking, it's something that you have to do it at some point of time in your life or not. So the two incidents that you spoke, that you told me about, the first time when I spoke in public, it was so there are two such episodes. One was in class 2. Mr. Bobby Baxter, a person who's just transformed my life completely. He gave us an opportunity. He trained three of us to give a kind of a speech, like a poem and recitation. And he gave us the poem, we have to learn and we have to perform in front of the class. And he gave us gold, silver, and bronze medals. And I won the medal. And I still remember, I my Aidada, no, my dad's elder brother, he's the one who trained me. It was such a beautiful experience. But that kind of overshadows the experience that I had when I was in class 7. Mr. Gomes, our teacher, told me, Suryadeep, I want you to. That was the first time our class had given an opportunity to present the school assembly. So, school assembly consists of one particular person who will read an anecdote. The second person will share the school prayer. The third person will share the Lord's Prayer, and then the choir takes over. So, I was the person given the job to recite that anecdote. When I was reading the anecdote, I peed in front of the whole school. I literally had to be walked down from the stage, and it was so dangerous that I kind of promised myself that I'm never ever going to speak. Cut to the recent time, uh, I think you and I went to that Toastmasters meeting. We were already distinguished Toastmasters. There were not too many guests as such, but was pretty good. Oh, wait, I think very recently, the recent one you asked. So it was in an event, a Sneh Desai event called Change Your Life. And I was given the mic to speak directly to him. He was like, he wanted people to share and all that. So I raised my hand, got an opportunity to speak. There were 2,500 plus people in the room, and I was talking to him directly, holding the mic. He was on the stage. I broke down, I cried, but the thunderous applause of just being vulnerable, just being able to share every single emotion that I was going through, it just, it's something that I will always, it'll be with me forever. You can, you rightfully mentioned it. You can say conversation, you can say communication, it all comes down to public speaking. Public speaking for me is when you separate yourself out from a group of people, anything more than two people, because when one person and the other person is talking, it's a conversation. But anything more than two people, you are separating them yourself out, and you're organizing whatever it is that you want to share, presenting in a way that they are able to understand what you're trying to say. That's public speaking according to me. But I also take it a little deeper, that at the end of the day, it's not just talking to the other person, because you're talking to yourself, what you rightfully took those examples. So for me, it's communication and public speaking go hand in hand. But to to look at that sacred thread that we were talking about and the examples that we started out on, I mean, it's mind boggling how these two completely contrasting experiences can unfold for the same person. Now, I'll throw the baton back to you. Why is it that I was not able to do well in my seventh grade? And why do you feel I was able to get that raptures of applause, even though I was crying, breaking down, my voice broken down? I mean, if you can decode that for us all.
Absolutely. As I was traveling with you for last 5 years, and I know most of your stories, and I've been a part of some of your stories, watching, being witnessing firsthand. Seventh standard, when you narrated that story for the first time, at that time, I remember we were not public speakers. We didn't know how, we were just starting to learn about public speaking, and we were practicing. And when you narrated the story, you narrated it to me, and I felt the emotion inside, the fear inside, because I can recall this similar situation in my childhood, during my college, during my school days, multiple episodes as such. In fact, I really had trauma at one point in time that I'm never ever going to speak in front of people. When I go back and think about those emotions, number one, you were given a script to recite. Yes, script is there, but you were not taught about how to handle the audience standing in front of you. You were looking at them, and your brain says, oh, this is a completely new situation. I don't know how to handle this. I've never been put in front of people like this. So many eyeballs are on me. And that triggers anxiety, that triggers cortisol inside us, an emotion that kicks fright, flight mode and fight mode. So that's the reason during your seventh standard, script was there. All you need to do is read, looking at it. Even that was not possible because your brain was not ready to handle the situation, emotion, your environment at that time. I can recall, I think I was in my fifth standard at that time. I participated in a similar contest where I have to give a speech. I wrote the speech. I took it and I kept the script in my pocket. I went over there and I started breathing heavy. I was out of breath. I said, good morning, dear teachers, fellow students. First line, second line, third line, I forgot because I was not memorizing that. I was not speaking from my heart. Most of the time, when we were taught to speak, we were not taught to speak from the heart. Rather, we were taught to speak from the scripts that we wrote. So when we were speaking constantly, our brain was like, okay, what's the next line? What's the next line? What's the next line? Now, when the next line is gone, vanished, that's when hands started shaking, legs started shaking, voice trembled. And at that time, I started crying. My teachers felt sorry for me. They said, you have the script in your pocket, take it out and read. I couldn't do even that. I cried. One of my teachers, they had to come, take me out, and make me sit, pacify, give water. That was such a huge drama. And that was the last time I gave speech in my school. And I told myself that I'm not going to do it. This is not for me. Until I was pushed to give a speech one more time during my college. We'll come to that later. So, at that time, number one, we were not told how to handle the situation. We were not told how to handle the stage. We were not told how to handle the emotions. All we were told, this is the script, go vomit it. Now, here, cut through the present, when Sneha Desai gave you that opportunity and he gave you that space, I'm sure the room is the number of people sitting in the room is more than 1,500, and you were able to speak. You were able to absorb the energy, have control on your speech, majorly because you learned the art of speaking in front of people. It is not about writing something and vomiting it out, rather, organizing your thoughts, understanding what you want to say first, organizing that, and then delivering it, thinking that you're speaking to one person, not to everyone. Thinking that all you need to do is speak your heart out, no judgments. Nobody is going to come and hold our throat, which we used to think back in our school. That if we mess up, what will happen? If we do this, what will others say? What will our teachers say? What will our students say? How will we get bullied after that? All of those things, you were able to have control on your emotion. You were able to have control on the ambience, and you were able to organize your thoughts. Now, these are my observations, and this is how my knowledge that I have related to public speaking is helping me to decode. Now, tell me, Suryadeep, how far am I right? I'm right.
Spot on, absolutely spot on. I think it's sometimes, as you were sharing this, I mean, I'm just recalling, there are moments when we want to speak well, but at that specific time, sometimes we fail to comprehend what is it that we are supposed to do. Unfortunately, that failure stays with us. Now, one thing is we want to excel. If we're given an opportunity to speak, we want to speak well, we want to really make it count, but we don't even know the techniques and methods. I mean, think about it. We have to speak right from the moment when we are born till the moment we are going to be there alive in this planet Earth. This is literally the one thing that we have to do, whether we like it or not. Our school, college has taught us more than 150 subjects, different topics. And was there a single topic about the actual aspect of speaking? And yet we would think, oh, this particular person is such a good speaker, that particular person speaks so well, this teacher does such a fantastic job. You are even given opportunities to speak on elocution contests, quizzes, all these different things that happen, but the actual training, the process, the techniques, methods, strategies, the fundamentals, like how we were taught numbers before we were taught maths, how we were taught alphabets before we were taught English. We were never ever taught anything in speaking. And yet, suddenly we are expected to speak to ourselves, to work on our health, to become fit. It's become such a big irony that I studied in a dental college. One of my professors just conducted a lecture on smoking. What is the impact of smoking in the lungs? The same professor on that same day asked us theory about smoking in the Viva after we cleaned a smoker's stains all over his teeth. And yet the Viva got over the same professor was smoking. On the wealth aspect, we are we were never taught how to speak to ourselves on the money beliefs, the money perspectives, to each other about money. Money was, shh, 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 it's a bad thing. Don't talk about it. And then comes relationship, the worst part of it, where our parents, yeah, over to you.
When you were talking about money, I was reminded of first, rich people are evil, so don't earn money. And then go to work, earn money. Number two, you're not supposed to ask anything to anyone. And that stays with us, saying that, oh, which means I should accept the salary that is given. I shouldn't be asking for more. If I ask for more, what if they think I'm greedy? Well, there is a way to ask. If you are providing a value, that value should be compensated. That's why it is called as remuneration. Should be compensated through another value, which is money. Why should you provide more value and earn less? Are you are you not underplaying yourself? And nobody taught us that. The third belief related to money is all you need to do is hold on to money. Save as much as possible. But we were never taught the multiple ways of saving. All we were taught is like put your money either in a bank or in a purse, let it lie around in the house. Now these concepts that were taught to us and that were spoken around us are right now inside the head as the principles, references, are thoughts that we know. But if there are crises, if you have to speak about money to someone, if you have to ask for more money, how to do it? Nobody taught us. And Surya, when you were talking about this, I wanted to understand this one thing that you shared about the techniques and those two episodes, right? Seventh standard, when you were scared, things all messed up on the stage, and then the recent one where you aced it. The seventh standard episode, when that happened, how did it impact in your later stage? How did it impact in your health? How did it impact your career? How did it impact your relationship with your family members?
So I'll take the two scenarios itself. At this present moment, in terms of even when I'm trying to contemplate, class 7 incident was a very, very weird one. And I never really had that observation to even talk to anyone about it. I just wanted to everyone to forget about it. And I was under this impression that the more you let it be, it's gonna let it be. Obviously, I had promised myself I'm never gonna speak on stage, so that's not much of a big deal as such. That I feel has created a distance between me and my self-esteem. That took a big hit. Now, coming to the Sneh Desai's event, it's not just that I cried in front of him, but I was crying before that as well. Some activities, whatever it is that happened. Through that incident, I was able to realize that it's okay to be vulnerable, firstly. And secondly, the fact that you're vulnerable, you still need to organize your thoughts and connect. So Even in that crying state, I send a video to my mom, my dad, my brother, you, and a few other people whom I know and care about, my friends and all, even a few of my colleagues. And uh, every single one of them, they were able to feel that connect with me. So it was not just about uh, not knowing the techniques separates you from yourself. So there is always this sense of self-doubt, lowered self-esteem, lowered self-confidence. That's something that is already deep ingrained with you, and no matter how hard you try, until unless you put any effort, it's not going to grow. So the best thing that you end up doing is you end up distracting yourself from the truth that you don't feel good about yourself, you don't feel good about the way you speak, you don't feel good about the fact that you can't, that you mess up. And what do? You end up communicating with yourself unconsciously. Okay, let's distract ourselves from this truth. I know I'm bad at this, so I'm going to continue doing things that at least it'll make me feel good, no? All forms of addictions and everything, we know about it. But on the other side, when you learn these techniques, skills, methods, organization of stuff, it's not just that you fix that relationship with yourself to begin with, but then every single person with whom you speak, they are able to lighten up just because of you, just because of that conversation from you. My parents, uh, few of my relatives, they keep telling, there's something weird about you. Whenever we speak to you, we feel very good. And it's not because it's because I'm charming or I'm handsome. That's a different topic altogether, maybe another podcast. But I don't speak for me. I speak for them. And that, I think we are in the perfect situation. So firstly, I hope I answered your question. The second is, I want to take this conversation forward into that specific point itself, which is the power of speaking and communication. What role does it play in relationships? And how this one aspect itself either makes a successful life or breaks a life. Your thoughts?
I would want to touch upon the incident that I shared and then follow it up with answering your question. The incident where I was speaking on the stage and then I forgot my line and I cried. Now, that incident was followed up, was followed by three things. Number one, all my classmates looked down on me. Number two, I was an average student. Now, being an average student has a problem, which is no one cares about you. So I was completely out in the dark, never got a spotlight after that particular situation. And number three, because of the first two, I told myself, no one likes me. I'm not good enough. No one wants to befriend me. So let me shut down. And that's when I started becoming an introvert. Not speaking to anyone because I don't know how to speak. Not building any relationship with friends because I don't know how to do that. Nobody likes me. I don't know how to approach. And that slowly moved on to when I grew up. I wanted to share something to my parents, but rather I chose to shut down instead of speaking up. During my work, when I wanted to speak to my leader, to my manager, I chose to shut down, be quiet, be invisible instead of speaking up. Because I don't know what do I want first. I didn't know what how to organize the thoughts. I didn't know how to set context, something that I learned from you. If you are going to have a difficult conversation, setting context first. Yes, I did learn from you. Okay. So people, yeah, that's how he blushes. If you are going to have a difficult conversation, what do we do all most of the time? Imagine there's a fight between two friends. I'm taking two friends because that's a that's a topic that will not create any controversy. So imagine there's a fight between two friends. Both the friends, they like each other and they want to talk to each other, but there's a wall between them. Let her come and talk. I want her to come and talk first. No, no, no. Why should I go and talk first? Let her come first. And then these two will stay in their own world, assuming, creating all the thoughts, whatever, which is not real in first place. And then they'll end up being apart for a long time. That will create distance between them. That will create rift in their relationship. And one day they'll meet, they'll be like, how dare you do this to me? What made you say that word to me? And things get worse. But deep inside, the translation is, why didn't you come and speak to me? Even if I'm not speaking to you, don't you know that I really like you and I need your support? Without you, I was struggling all this while. Every single time I see you, I want to walk up to you and I want to speak to you, but I couldn't because I was scared. That was a translation. The same the other way around. Now, they are not doing that because they didn't know how to set context. To give an example, something that I learned from you, Surya, which is, uh, hey, can I get 5 minutes of your time, please? I really have something important to share. This is important to me. Leave your ego and go forward. Let's just say that person gives you 5 minutes. Even if that person says, clock starts right now, 5 minutes, that's absolutely okay. Set context. The other day, so and so incident happened. I'm sure both of us know what happened at that time, but I really want to apologize from my end. Even if I'm not wrong, I just want to know, I just want you to know that I like you. I cannot be without talking to you. Can we talk about it and solve the problem? 100% the other person would cry in tears if they really like you and have the same respect for you. But we are not doing it because we were never taught about that. And this is the technique of building relationship, mending relationship, which we are supposed to do with our spouse, with our partners, with our family, with our siblings, with our parents, whenever there is a differences in perspectives and opinions, because we all know that we are individuals and it is absolutely okay to have differences in perspectives. It's absolutely okay to agree to disagree. Just because we were not taught on the technique, concept, and the mindset, things get worse. This is about relationship. Now, I also want to touch upon this one point, Surya, which is, you were talking about certain techniques of public speaking. Now, I just gave how to set a context and how to be vulnerable. I want you to touch upon the points of the techniques of public speaking. Throw some light on that. And how can they use when they want to work on their health? We'll first talk about health and then we'll slowly move on to wealth. Over to you.
We are the perfect example right now. Over the last 4 or 5 years, I guess. And here's the funny part. Every single human being on this planet, at some point of time in their lives, they have been their fittest self. And then only things became worse. So they want to get back to their fittest self. So for us, we have been our fittest version and then we lost it. Junk food, whatever you call it. Life took over. We got hallucinated, hypnotized by the marketing of the food industry, either way around. But then there's a certain point of time when you start getting directions. Either you look at yourself in the mirror, the old clothes are not fitting, people are body shaming you or just taunting and laughing about you, and at some point of time you realize enough. The moment you do so, from that point of time, what is it that you do? Because if you break things down, this is what happens, at least with me. The alarm rings, used to ring 5 o'clock every single day. I'm giving the alarm. The next alarm, 9 o'clock. The third alarm, 9:45. Why? Because 10 o'clock I have either my college or recently my job. So I give an alarm at 5 o'clock. Come on, Surya. We'll start from tomorrow. Come on, man. Sleep is important. You slept so late yesterday, right? We had a movie night and everything. It's okay. We'll do it from tomorrow. 9:30, same conversation. 9:45. Come on, just 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. And this just goes on and on and on. But the moment you say enough, cut to cut on that time when you actually decide to take control, the alarm rings. Surideep, come on. No, you have to wake up. Come on, shut up. If I don't do this today, then I'll never be able to do this for the rest of my life. This means the world to me. This waking up right now, my life depends on it. I need to do it. I'm almost borderline obese. I have seen my dad go through something horrible. My relatives and everyone are suffering, and I don't want to do that, experience that. Now, in both the examples, look at the set of conversations that's unfolding. The the amplitude of the conversation, the tonality, the intensity behind all the conversations. And that's what dictates our feelings, our emotions, and then our actions. And that happens. I just gave an alarm clock example. You're the perfect person to give us the example on uh, with respect to food. How to not eat junk food, how to buy fruits instead of chocolates, all those things. As you continue to do that, you do the same for waking up, you do the same for eating, you do the same for exercise. And these are only the three main ingredients. Of course, you do that for learnings as well. The more you are not aware about things, you have to educate your yourself to it. We know that we have all the information available in our fingertips, books, courses, YouTube videos, so many different sources of knowledge. But we are the ones who have to actually go through it and implement it. And every such step is a conversation. Now, you can take us through that other example, whether it comes to food, and then I'll leave the wealth component to you.
Here, one more thing that I would like to add before the food example is your example one. Alarm rings at 5, 9, 5:40, 9:45, and brain keeps telling that let's sleep today, we'll do it from tomorrow. Now, alarm rings and you're up. One big reason is, as you said, your life depends on that. And for me, my life depends on that. And not just my life, my parents' life, everyone around my life. If I take this step, everyone's life will go for an upgradation. If I'm not doing it today, I'm depriving myself and depriving my loved ones from that. And they're going to suffer because of me. That's my purpose. So, the biggest reason of procrastination, if your brain is talking you out of your healthy habit, find your purpose on which your life depends on it. For us, it is the podcast that we are doing, it is the content that we are creating, it's the sessions that we are doing with you. What is it for you? Find it out. Number two, what are you feeding your brain with? Surya said that I choose fruits instead of chocolates because the reason that we choose chocolates instead of fruits is because we were fed by the marketers, the greatest marketers on the planet. Here you go, you have a brownie in your hand, an entire packet. And by any chance, Surya, do you have that Max chocolate, Munch chocolate? What is Munch chocolate? Yeah. Do you have it with you? Can you show that? Okay, fantastic. The biggest chocolate, Munch Max, And if you turn, can you turn and show that to the camera? And there are certain thin silver lines, you see? Those silver lines are the indicators that you're not supposed to eat more than a bite from that. But we end up eating the entire thing, which is 4 times the portion which is permitted by RDA. And that's the reason we keep blotting up like this. I'm not an exception. I was a part of this marketing strategy previously. I got caught up. I enjoyed my chocolates. But now I realize that what you feed your brain is what you will act on. If you watch more people eating chocolates, or if you indulge in ads, televisions, and tell yourself that, wow, in that ad, the person is eating the chocolate, feeling so happy. If I eat chocolate, I'll also feel that happiness. In that ad, that heroine or the hero is drinking the thumbs up. If I drink, I'll also feel that happiness. If you feed this to your brain, you will end up buying those chocolates. Consciously cut yourself out from all of these kind of conversations and start learning more about your body. Every bite of chocolate that you're eating, the best part that I do right now, crazy stuff, which is ChatGPT. Take ChatGPT, tell ChatGPT, I ate a Munch Max today, the entire packet. Tell me what will happen to my body. ChatGPT will tell you the exact thing that is going inside your body, and that fear will not let you eat nor will let you buy. That's my strategy of buying healthy things and eating healthy things. So, Surya, will you do that? That's question number 1 for you. Question number 2. Let's move to the wealth aspect. You are the best person when it comes to having a great conversation with your superiors, negotiating a salary, explaining to your superiors that your work is a little hectic, that you need some breathing space. How do you do all of those things? What are your strategies in those kind of conversations?
To answer your first question, I will definitely do it. It happens with me for me step by step. So when I feel like eating, my mood swings are worse than a woman on periods or a pregnant woman. That's for sure. It's crazy. Coming to the second question, I feel that I had tossed the baton of wealth to you, but now since you've given me the question, I don't have a choice but to answer, and you've given me a specific scenario also. So I mean, we can always talk about scenario based thing, but if we really want to dive deep into understanding the techniques and methods behind it, the first thing obviously is a context where you have to understand that in any conversation there are multiple people involved, and a professional level there are multiple hierarchies involved. So you got yourself as an individual, you got your reporting manager who's representing the company, and then reporting manager has his own managers, and then the managers are representing the company. So you have all these hierarchies to things to keep in mind, and the way to organize the same is what I prefer to do is through a story which actually signifies the truth based on whatever it is that I'm experiencing. So if I am able to craft whatever it is that I'm going through, not in the form of an allegation or a threat or any form of an aggression or a complaint or a vent out, rather I put it together in the form of a very simple step-by-step story. This is what happens, this is what I'm going through, these are the difficulties that I'm having. Again, it's a wonderfully orchestrated and organized approach. The moment I shared that, keeping in mind that it should be a win for me, win for them, should be a win across all levels, and that's when things begin to work. Same thing when it comes to money as well, right? When you want to go and ask for the raise, you need to be in a position to understand, first of all, why do you deserve it? You got to be able to set the context, the kind of work that you've done, the impact that you've created across the hierarchy. Even though you're an individual, your work impacts the whole company all the way to the mission, vision, values level. How you're able to prove that you're an asset for the organization, and that's why you deserve it. So it all begins with, how do you communicate with yourself and what are your strategies behind it? Again, there's an emotional approach, there's a rational approach. Once you go through it, only then you start to pre-frame the context and the conversation in the form of models and role plays. I remember you and I did so many different role plays, scenario based role plays. We took notes, we were participating in the conversation, we went back and forth. A lot of these things happen. What you practice in private, you get rewarded in public. It's one of the age old laws. And as you do that consistently over a period of time, you begin to witness more wealth. Because what's wealth at the end of the day? It's exchange of value. What better value than to communicate your worth to your workplace, to yourself, to the people you serve, if you're a business owner, if you're a founder, to communicate the mission, vision, values, if you're an investor, if you're a founder pitching to an investors. At the end of the day, it all boils down to that one little thing in itself, right? We look at all these different platforms like Shark Tank and all. That's what they're doing. And in exchange of that, they're getting paid. So that's wealth, according to me. Now, I'll toss back the question to you again. For someone like me who is still not clear, what is it that I even want to do in the first place? And I know that I'm slowly growing to such a way that I'm the elder son of the family. There are financial responsibilities that comes in. I don't even know what is it that I want to do. And yet I have to make money to at least ensure that the survival of my family members are taken care of, if not anything else. And then I have so many different dreams as well. What role does communication play in this role? What is the missing piece when it comes to public speaking? First of all, is public speaking a missing piece? How is that related to wealth? Again, throwing all these questions your way.
The first thing, as you said, I'll here when you spoke, you gave the generalization. However, I would like to take a scenario and then give you the answer. When you talk about wealth, when you want to make money, you need to exchange value. If we go for a work, go for a job, whatever your skill is, you are trading that skill for certain amount at the end of the month, right? Now, let's just say you want to increase that up. You are all the scenario is you are already in a work and you feel like you're underpaid. You're working more, underpaid, and you want to renegotiate your package. The biggest mistake anyone can do, and most people are doing, is directly walking into the manager's room and telling, Sir, I want a pay rise. Now, the manager cross questions, okay, what makes you think that you want a pay rise? Then a pin drops. The person who is asking for the rise doesn't know why is he asking. What was his reason? I was overworked, so give me more money. Or my expenses are more, so I need to earn more. The logic is wrong. The concept is wrong. The perception is wrong. In wealth, the value you create is equal to the value that you will get for yourself. If you help someone, you will get that back in terms of currency. As simple as that. Now, when you walk into your manager, are you doing the groundwork? Manager's office, are you doing the groundwork before you are walking into the manager's office? Number one, what are you telling to yourself to start with? Why should someone give you a raise? Is it just because you are here for 5 years? Or is it just because you are working more? Is it just because you are spending more time in the office? coming before everyone and leaving before everyone, leaving after everyone, locking the office and then going? Is it because of that? Or is it because your KPIs and KRAs are met? You have documented that. You have achieved certain milestones that were set for you. You have overachieved and you have a proof to show that. Proof in terms of numbers. Because emotions doesn't work when you are sitting in a professional context. You need to be logical. Do you have the numbers in front of you as a document when you present it with your in front of your manager, that he will have no option but to give you that raise? Do you have that? Did you do your groundwork? If you are in an organization for 5 years, those 5 years, how did you start? What all did you do? Whom all did you approach? Have you documented that? What are the contributions from your end that has taken the organization to the next level? Have you documented that? If not, sit down and go for a flashback and write it down everything before you walk into your manager's office. Number two, when you list down the contributions, you will know what are the work that you're doing currently. What are the skills that you possess currently? Now, if you ask for a raise, which means you will get more responsibility and that demands more skills. Do you have those skills right now? If yes, fantastic. You can talk about those skills in front of the manager when he is asking for a reason. If no, start working on that. So you need to stack up your skill, compare it with the work that you're doing. Is it matching? Number three, with that proof, walk into your manager's office with a mindset of win-win. If he's going to give you something, you should be aware that he's going to ask something from you. Coming to the common ground. It's not that you're demanding and he has to give, you're holding his throat. Doesn't work like that. Now, this is one context. Let us take the second context, which is you're going for a job interview. You aced the interview, now salary negotiation time, you want more. And the HR says, well, in what context or in what aspect you demand this number? Can you justify that? You need to know your market value. You need to know how the company is paying in the similar positions. And you need to know that are you the market average? You are doing the same job that anyone can do, or are you someone who can do something that others cannot do? And if you are aware of that skill, you need to highlight that skill, saying that just because I bring this onto the table, it will result something like this, and that will help the organization achieve this, and that's why I deserve that package. There's a proper step-by-step procedure in each of these contexts. And everything starts with, what are you talking to yourself? Are you talking to yourself telling that I'm not good enough, I don't deserve this, how am I going to do it, I don't know where to start? If I walk into the manager's office, what will he say? How will I respond? I'm so scared. Should I resign? If that is the conversation, I'm so sorry, it's not going to work. You need to shift your perspective. You need to know how to talk to yourself, how to document it so that you can talk to the other person, so that the other person can understand what exactly that you want and help you achieve that. In fact, the other person will come forward to help you achieve that. And Surya, for you, as the elder son of your family, where you need to support your family and you don't know what to do, how to do, where to start, the best thing for you is to start wherever you are. As we are doing this podcast right now, you're doing this podcast with me, you have already started. Well done. Let's do more, because you are already good at communication. You're already good at public speaking. Let's do more podcasts. Let's create more value to people who really want to learn this skill. Number two, as you do this podcast, you will find out the sweet spot. Oh, these are the things that I don't want to do, and these are the things that I like doing. Pick that up, do more what you like doing, and literally build a skill around that. Be so good in that one aspect, even if it is smiling big. Because I know you are a big fan of smiling big, especially when it comes to talking to the other person. Even if it is smiling big, you can literally make videos on how to smile big and where all to use that skill. Because I know the moment you taught me how to smile big, when I walk on the road, I go for a walk. When I walk on the road, the man who sells groceries, the lady who sits there in that place every single day, the same time. I meet them, and when I smile, they smile. Today, a big example, I was in the park walking. I stood near a pond and I was checking the ducks. An old man came, he was also walking. He saw that I was checking those ducks. He smiled at me. I smiled big at him. The second round, we had the eye contact. I smiled first at him and he smiled at me. Spark built, connection built. Tomorrow, if I go, I'll be like, hello, sir, how are you? Yesterday we met. I'm Yogeshwari. What's your name? Nice to meet you. Conversation built. And that smile that you taught me is helping me to network today. Even if it is one skill, start building more on that, become an expert of that. And I'm sure the world would value you. To wrap it up, Surya, I want to ask the final question to you. Just share in one sentence what is the transformation this particular skill, which is public speaking, is creating in your life today in all three aspects.
I am able to turn thoughts into actions that is getting me results. You said one sentence.
So, this is happening in your health. Your thoughts, you're turning it into action when it comes to your health. In your health, in your wealth, and in your relationship, right? Fantastic. Now, for people who are watching this podcast, and if you are here with us until now, we have a huge, how should I say? Is it a surprise or is it an offer? I don't know, because this is the first time that we are doing. We are going to launch a cohort where we will handhold you on the techniques that we discussed in this podcast and much more on the public speaking, how you can literally use it for your health, to build your health, to build your wealth, and to build your relationship. The links and all the other details are in the description. Check that out. I'm sure this is going to be a life changing cohort for you, because we are not just going to give you any courses, rather, we are going to handhold you, make you do in the session. And Surya, I want you to share why should someone join the cohort.
Even before that, honestly, I'll tell you, you should not join the cohort. Yeah, I mean, brutally, I'm just telling you on your face. If you're watching this video right now until this point and you've made a lot of notes and all, you shouldn't be joining the cohort, because we are working only with 20 people every month. That's it. That's the limit that we have. Obviously, if we later want to expand to new batches and all, but at one point of time, 20, we can't take more than that. The second aspect of this is, what is it worth it to you? Missing out on your health, missing out on your wealth, missing out on the relationships, missing out on opportunities, letting go of all these things that you know you deserve, but not being able to achieve any of them, getting into crisis after crisis, getting into distraction after distraction. What is all these things worth to you? What is building a relationship with your family worth it to you? What is not building so worth to you? What is growing in your life worth to you? What is being stagnant in your life worth to you? What is going out on the weekends and partying out worth to you? And what is really making the most of that weekend and mastering skills to grow and really create that impact that you're born for worth to you. Once you find the answers to these questions, that's when you will be able to take a call on whether joining this cohort, spending time with us, spending an entire month with us is going to be of use for you or not. Again, the purpose of this whole podcast is not to sell. We don't believe in that at all. It's always about the opportunities that you get and whether that opportunity is also worth to you or not. The results that it's going to create is worth to you or not. So that is where I would like to end from my end. Over to you.
Fantastic. So don't join the podcast. With that, I would like to complete and wrap up this session where I want you to, if you are till here, until here, I want you to write to us in the comments. What is the 3 takeaways that you have learned from this podcast? And what is the one action that you're going to take related to your public speaking? Related to, it can be any of the 3 aspects that you want to work on. It can be on your wealth, health, or relationship. That's completely up to you. But what is that one action? Are you going to go and talk to your family using context setting technique? Are you going to document your professional journey so that you can talk to your manager, or are you going to work on your self talk so that you can build your health? What is that one thing that you're going to work on from now on? Write that to us in the comments. We read every comment and we comment back as well, so we are waiting to hear from you. Until then, bye bye, see you in the next podcast.